Every week, I'm like, I don't have one still. I really just need to order one off of like Amazon. Like, God.
My goodness, Jack. I love your innovation now. Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. Or you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva, and I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Her. I'm not drinking anything today. Didn't really grab anything, but I do have close by my cup mug. Ooh, we do have a panel full of cup mug. Panel full of cup mug. Beer, 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 beer.
I
And
feel like it's a lot less hard with two people to do that, but like, still, it's worth
absolutely,
it.
it's still a panel. We're still full of cup mugs, and it's great. Love it. And you can get your cup mug and join our cool party at lanagcreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And not just our mugs, but any of our beautiful merch. Check it out. And we do ship domestically here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico. And we do ship internationally. So there are no excuses. Well, a few. But if your country's on fire, or underwater, then there's some excuses. But and we're sending our thoughts and our prayers to you and yours and hope that everybody makes it out in perfect condition and in well spirits. And once you're done with all of that and over that hurdle and back to normal, a sense of normalcy anyway, you want to celebrate, right? I know you do. So celebrate with some cup merch. Period.
And my name is Jack. I am your resident game design expert of the panel, and this episode left me confused on whether or not the editors love or hate Rome. I honestly could not tell you which. It swapped back so many points for me, but my bet is I think they want him for the Emmy, and that's probably about it.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you on that. I think he is definitely here for the Emmy moment, and I mean they gave him a nice, they tried their best, but it is
I
what it is.
I genuinely cannot think of an episode that was from literally the episode starting was so clear that someone was going home.
Yeah, yeah.
Like it wasn't a question. The episode opens. I'm like, yeah, no, okay,
I
great.
can't stand him.
I'm losing my first prod draft member. Like, there's no way I'm not. uh, well, this is going to be a fun episode to dissect and
I
get
mean,
through.
yeah, we go talk about everything, but before we do, hit the subscribe button on this podcast and all of our podcasts. All the links will be in the description below, and we will, yeah, hit the links, subscribe, follow all of our channels. We are trying to build up our we're trying to build up our network, so we need your help. So subscribe to this channel and all of other channels. Also, you can go in the description below to find our audio podcast links, so you know where every podcast you can listen to us on the go if you need to. And yeah, why not?
Why
Why
not?
not? Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? You can also join our Patreon, which we have exclusive content across all four channels. And not look over here. That's the other channel. But early access to actually look over here and all of our other early access things across all four channels. So you want to do that as well. And yeah, this episode, wow. Wow. I don't even know how to describe it. It was wild.
Like the in this is an episode where the only thing that I can think happened is everyone within the editing bay went, there's no way we can spin this to where he looks good at all or looks safe at all, right?
Mm.
No, great, cool. We're just gonna make it obvious then. Like, there's
I mean,
no point hiding the lead.
it really was just like It was the weirdest thing. Okay, so we start the episode and everybody get the same message. Drop your buffs. Well, we come back in and Rachel, let's start with that. Rachel.
I think there's something we might want to mention first,
Oh, yeah.
because the previously on segment is notably different
Yeah.
than every other episode. Instead of Jeff talking through it, Rome is literally narrating it.
Mhm.
Like, he's narrating his own master game plan, which is crazy because he's painting himself genuinely in the opening as this big mastermind.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is genuinely the best way they could have done it, because he sees himself as this, and everyone else looking in is going, what? No. The fuck are you on?
That's not happening, sir. Like, that ain't even what it is. I don't know what you're talking about at this point, but that's how he sees himself. And it's wild.
I'm not at all confident in this assertion as well, but I want to say this is potentially the first time someone other than Jeff has specifically said in the episode previously on Survivor, which is strange.
Wow.
Just to like hear it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm complete shooting from the hip here. Could be very wrong, and I'm forgetting one specific episode of the 500, 600, 700 we have out. But
honestly, Jack, I could not tell you. I think this is the first time we're hearing that. And if that's the case, good on you, Rome.
Good on you, Rome.
They thought highly enough of you to put you in that place and let you do that. So I'm like, good on you if that's what they doing for you. I don't get it, but it ain't for us to get, I guess. You know what I mean?
I think maybe Jeff just showed up late to the VO booth one day and they were like, oh, God, fine, we have the audio clip from Rome, just play it.
or, and as much as I would not love this idea, they're just preparing us for when Rome comes back. I think they want Rome to come back because
he will.
Unfortunately,
it's a very good thing.
As annoying as he is, and as frustrating as I particularly found him, he was very good TV. He was someone who really loved this game and really tried to do something in this game. So I don't know.
He wasn't afraid to play the villain, but
no, he was not. No, he was not.
I mean, unfortunately, we figure out in this episode very clearly why playing the villain so very clearly in front of everyone's faces doesn't work.
I mean, I think Rome went to the well one too many times. I think he got too close to the sun and he got burned because he did the same thing in his old camp. And you still have people there from your camp who would just rat you out and be like, listen here, which is what happened. And it's like, he was so openly and sloppily about it. Like, it was very sloppy, very open, nothing covert about it. And it was just like, oh, well, you signed your own check, buddy. This was the moment you signed your own checks. So I mean, I'm just gonna put this up here now because
there's literally no point in hiding it. This episode is the most telegraph elimination I have ever seen in basically any reality TV show ever. It is like almost from the second that they get on the beach, it's like Rome is done. The only way he survives is if he wins immunity, and he does not.
Nope. This is the end result. Rome is out, but we gonna tell you how we got to that point. So Don't
Yeah.
go nowhere. We're gonna tell you how we got to that point.
It's a really good episode, even if it's very, very obvious the end
Yes.
result.
Yes. So let's start at the beginning. We get to Gata Beach, back to Gata, and Rachel is feeling very much blindsided and low on the totem pole here. She's like, y'all just blindsided me with this Annika vote, and I had no idea. So of course Sierra quickly goes into apologetic mode, like, I'm so sorry, we didn't tell you. I knew you were close to Ani, and I was too, but it was something that had to be done, blah, blah, blah. Andy, of course, is loving every second of it. He's like, my name was in her mouth all the time, so I wanted to get her out before she got me out. And Rachel couldn't deny that. She was just like, yeah, she was coming for you, so it is what it is. And so they were trying to, do a little damage control. We do want to work with you. We just couldn't work with her. It wasn't against you. We do like you, blah, blah, blah. And Rachel was like, if ever there was a time I need merge, it is right now. It is right now. She was like, I need it.
Yeah, no, I need off this beach. I'm good.
I need off
Like,
this beach. I need more people to make a path, because right now my path is done and I need off this beach. And sometimes when you ask for things and you pray to the survivor gods about things, they happen to come true. And the next day a boat showed up and told everybody to drop their buffs. And everybody was all excited. We're dropping the buffs. Drop your buff, Jack. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting this back on, my hair's a fucking mess.
Absolutely. But yeah, they dropped the buffs and everybody's like, yeah, we're moving, we're going, we're leaving. They had 10 minutes to pack up their stuff and get off their beach, except Tuku, because everybody was coming to Tuku's beach.
And Sue was panicked.
Yes, Sue was like, oh, crap. If they're all coming here, I got things to do. I got to take care of this idol that I found and with the red paint all over, because in my panic, I just stuck it right back into the red paint. I didn't try to clean it. I cleaned it and then I stuck it back into the red paint. So now she's off running, trying to clean off this idol, trying to get the mess made, cleaned up or whatever. She's rinsing and rinsing. And she hears the boat. She's like, oh, shoot.
Shit. They're here.
So she's trying to clean off as much as she can and go out to greet them. Everybody's so excited to be on the same beach. Everybody's, woo, yes, we're on the beach together. Woo. It was, and then all of a sudden this sign appeared and it said, read this together.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah. So they go and they read it. And it says, the next challenge is going to be very grueling. But for one of you, you can get an advantage. It's an advantage hidden on the beach somewhere. And you need to find it.
Go. Just find the advantage on
somewhere.
The beach.
Somewhere. No hints of where, just somewhere. And they're like, go. And everybody's looking like, now?
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So everybody takes off running. Now, I don't know how long they actually ran around, but from the edit, it looked like they technically did running around for maybe 20 minutes. And they stopped. They stopped looking.
And I mean, I think Rachel does end up putting it best. You can see like 50 trees behind me. Like, there's way too much dense forest. There's no way anyone's going to find this. And she is right.
She's right, because
it's too much dense forest. They're not going to be able to hide in there and have someone reliably find it.
No.
So they don't.
They don't. They don't hide it there. They hide it in the water. And this mysterious buoy is just sitting in the water. But Sam sees it. Genevieve sees it. And Sam says, "Oh, that's nothing. Them buoys all over the place. It's nothing." And Genevieve was like, "Yeah,
you're probably
yeah,
right.
you're probably right. It's nothing." They would never hide an advantage all the way out there at the buoy for no reason because there's buoys all over the place. So they walk away. But Genevieve has a nagging, very nagging feeling about this buoy. She's like, "Well, we didn't see a buoy on our beach. So where did this buoy? And if there was something, wouldn't the people of Tuku already have seen this buoy going out there? Huh?
Strange.
I don't want to get wet. I don't want to get wet. I don't want to go out there and be wet and then it's nothing. But what if it's something?
And what if like a shark eats me?
A shark could eat me. I don't really want to die today.
Like, how this is a complete waste of time the entire time she gets out there, and like a foot from it, she's like, "Oh my god, it's just a buoy.
It's just a buoy." And then she keeps swimming, and she's like,
"Oh,
it's not just a buoy." And she finds this advantage, and she swims back on, and she goes, "Hey guys." And Sam freaks because he sees she's wet. And he was like, "It's the buoy. It was the buoy." And she's like, "It absolutely was the buoy."
I mean, it does make sense. People don't find stuff like for idols for literal days. They are not going to hide something they need found by tomorrow.
Right.
In the middle of a forest. They're going to hide it in a semi-obvious place. And I mean, I'm not mad at them. This is a really funny way to do it.
Yes.
So good on them.
Good on them. And good on Genevieve for finding it. She found the buoy, or found the advantage. She reads it and says, "Present this to Jeff at the challenge, and he will reveal what the advantage is." And so there's that. And so then here comes, this is where the foolishness starts to happen. Rome, who's eliminated, that we already told y'all. This is one of the reasons why. No, this is the reason why. Ain't no one. This is the reason why.
Like, this is reason number 1 of 5 within the episode.
Right. So many reasons why this man was eliminated. But so he's talking to Kyle, and Kyle's just trying to make conversation. Kyle is under the impression that people are talking just to get to know each other. We're on this new beach. We're starting at 0. Like, we're starting over. This is the new game, new people we're trying to get to know. So he's talking to Kyle, Rome, and he's talking about, people on his tribe, and people who he might or might not be threatened by. And he says something about Sam, but Rome brings up Sam, and Kyle agrees and was like, "Yeah, Sam could be a threat down the road. Not right now." He said down the road. So he's like, Rome was like, "Yep, yeah.
Yeah,
he was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And he's like, "What girl are you closest to, or or what girl is threatening?" And again, Kyle was like, "I mean, everybody can be threatening. I think Tiana might be threatening down the road at some point." And Rome was like, yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
I do want to say, why does it matter if it's a woman here? Like, genuinely, what does the difference make if you were bringing up another guy or another girl? Why did you need a second name that was specifically a woman?
Right. Why couldn't it be who's threatening?
Because I guess he already answered that, and he needed a second answer for it to be like, "Oh, look, hey, 2 people, these are going after you. Kyle's going after you for some reason."
And then Kyle mentions that Sue and Caroline, now he did say that they were weak in competitions. Now he absolutely said that. That was one thing Rome did say that was true. But he was like, they're like a package deal. Like you get one, you get the other. They're very close. And so at first I was like, Kyle, you're talking a little too much, but I get it. You're just trying to bond. You're trying to, maybe Rome is someone you can work with. He's like, I was close to TK. Maybe Rome is like TK in some way. I don't know. But uh, Rome was like, got it. Got the information. He was like, okay, I'll see you later. He runs straight to Sam and is like, Kyle said you're a threat. Kyle's coming after you. And Sam was like, whoa, really? He's like, yeah, just wanted to be the one to tell you, bro. Just want to tell you. And he's like, oh, okay. Then he runs to Tiana, was like, Kyle said you're a threat. And Tiana's like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
That's weird. What the fuck?
Because Kyle is like my number one ally in this game. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me why Kyle would go after me. Well, she's like, thank you for telling me. I appreciate that. He's like, yeah, I just really want you to know. He's like, because I'm trying to look out. So I'm just trying to tell you. Goes to Sue. And it's like, Kyle said that you were weak and you and Caroline was like package deals. Y'all was super close and you were weak in this game and da 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 da. And Sue was like, my radar is back on Kyle. I had my radar on Kyle, but Kyle could be the next to go. So all of that is running, and Kyle and Rome is feeling good about what he's doing. He like, yep, I'm stirring the pot. I'm getting people all worked up, and they won't be looking at me. They'll be looking at Kyle. Good plan, bad execution.
Horrible execution, mostly because these are brand new people. And for some reason, you are telling them that someone else is targeting them?
Right.
When you have no relationship? Right. Why are you... So, yeah, people compare notes almost immediately.
Oh, absolutely. It was notes being compared as soon as they got back. And so Tiana was talking to Saul, and Saul is like,
yeah, this is how he plays.
Let me tell you something about Rome. He likes to stir the pot. I would take everything he says with a grain of salt, and I will fact check him. Go fact check him. Go ask the person who he said this and see what they say, because Rome is known to lie. And I was like, ooh, well,
get him,
what? Get him, clock him, Saul. And you know what happened? They went to fact check. And Kyle was like, he said, well, now here I am thinking I'm trying to make a bond with somebody and you going and lying on my name now? Okay.
Okay. And now you have half of the game pissed at you for literally no reason. You didn't have to do any of this. We haven't even got into immunity yet. So you could have just shut up for a little bit and relaxed. But no, now basically half of Tuku, at least half of Ghana, and probably all of Lavo is now very annoyed at Rome and is pretty much dead set on voting him out unless some crazy shakeup occurs. And with that, unless you can think of anything else, we basically are going straight to immunity.
Yeah, we do have one thing, because
yes,
we do have one more thing before we go there, because of course they're walking around looking at this beach and somebody's like, what's this red paint over here and over here and over here, and what's all this? And so they start to moving things around. They're like, oh my god, what is all this red paint over here? Look like a murder scene. What is happening with all this stuff? And Caroline is sitting in that group like, oh, I know exactly what happened. I know exactly. Sue found something. Because her mind went right back to when Sue was talking about, I was playing with the machete. And so she's like, Sue found something. I'm going to keep it a secret. You know who else remember about this red paint? Tiana. She also remembered about this red paint. And she's like, okay, Sue. Ooh.
Good on you, Sue. Good on
Good on
you.
you, Sue.
Okay,
She
she's
got something.
playing.
She playing. But I'm not gonna say nothing. Yet. And so Sue is talking to Caroline. And Caroline was like, I'm glad you got it. And Sue's like, what you mean? I know you got something. We
The
saw
idol girl.
the idol girl, you got it. And Sue was like, oh yeah, but I don't know about T. I don't know if I trust her because she might flip on me or might want to. And so she's like, at this point, like, if I got to get rid of Tiana to save to keep my secret safe, then I would do that. And I was like, okay, all right, cool. But then
Whoa.
cool. But that really was just something small. But then we do go to the immunity challenge, and we find out that we are going. Last week was a practice run. Last week was a practice run. So we are going to split people into two groups again. And then we're going to split you up and then we're going to do this team thing. But somebody found an advantage. And so Genevieve, of course, comes up, gives it to Jeff. And he tells her what the advantage is. Because you're going to be running this in two heats, one as a team and then one individually. And Genevieve does not have to run the first leg. She's automatically in the second leg with and going for the immunity idol. And she will be in the feast with the team who wins the first leg of the race. The first leg of the race wins and they will win a feast. It's not a merge feast though, but it's a feast nonetheless.
Why? Like, genuinely, after last week, the whole thing of having this winning feast for the team makes no sense. What? We had this last week. You can't then early mergatory ish. Is this even mergatory at this point? Because you're basically just combining a reward challenge and a normal immunity challenge. What are we doing?
Like
What the fuck are we doing?
It's so dumb. Like they literally could have just had the whoever wins, they win and they move on, and the second one gets nothing. The losing team gets nothing, and then they move on. And then next week, after everybody has merged, do a merge feast. Let everybody eat. We couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. Everybody can't eat. Okay, get it. Whatever. So it's obstacle puzzle, like a maze. Like you had to go through the mud,
Go through wood chips, then grapple a bag that is covered by jungle debris. And then I want to make sure I'm remembering it right. Go table maze. Oh, warped wall and then table maze.
Yep, you got to go up the wall and then the table maze. And you could use sandbags at the wall if necessary, but it'll take time to do that. So on the teams, and hopefully I get this right. I'm not trying to remember offhand, but on the teams, we had Sam, Kyle, Sue, Teeny,
I am quickly looking it up because I don't have a good memory either.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it's not going.
Okay. Okay. So
Got it.
Okay.
So on the yellow team, because it's not specified at all, because it doesn't matter anymore, it is Kyle, Rachel, Sam, Sierra, Sue, and Teeny.
Okay.
And on blue, it is as I run
Rome,
through my notes.
Saul, Tiana, Andy,
Uh,
and Caroline.
Caroline, and yeah.
Yep, that's it. I remembered that part. But so they got on the two teams. Everybody was doing pretty well at the beginning, kind of close, running through the mud, through the wood chips, grappling the balls, bag, put the balls in it. Um, the wart wall is where it started breaking off a bit because the blue team started getting people. Gabe was the other one. Gabe got up the thing first. Him and then Andy got up, and Saul got up, and then and Rome got up, and they would start pulling people up, and um, you had to go down and help Caroline get up, but she got up, and they were on to the word maze, the word maze,
The ball
the
maze.
ball maze, pretty quickly. After a while, yellow team struggled a bit. They decided to get the sandbags because there was no way Sue was going to get up that wall just by running, and so they started getting the sandbags and collecting the sandbags and made a ladder. Made it easier, and it helped. It definitely made it easier. They caught up with everybody pretty quickly after a while, and they got on the ball maze as well. This is where it just got interesting and crazy because, like I said, the blue team was on the ball maze for a good minute before the yellow team got there, and they were doing these jerky movements. It was Rome and Andy.
It was either Andy or Gabe.
It was Gabe. It was Gabe.
It was Gabe. Yes. Yeah, it was
Oh,
Gabe.
no,
So
yeah,
the thing in my mind is it was two people who had specifically both found idols. That was how I remembered it, of like, oh, it's two people who have been scrambling this entire game versus the yellow team. And I mean, the yellow team is much more evenly paced.
Yeah. Roman Gabe on there, and they're doing these jerky movements, and it's just not really working. And on the other side, you had Sam and Kyle, who were very much like slow and steady, move it along. Let's try not to drop it. And they were getting through the base pretty quickly. And I will give Roman Gabe, they caught up. But again, it's the jerky movements. They got all the way to the end when both of them at about the same spot, and they jerky moved it, and it fell out. And Sam and Kyle finessed it and ended up winning the whole thing. So the yellow team wins the first part of this challenge, and they move on to the second leg, and they have the feast waiting for them when they get back to camp. Other team, nothing. So they sitting on the bench looking like mud children, and then Genevieve is sitting next to them looking like clean as a whistle. And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I think Rob Sestriano tweeted out yesterday that was the funniest thing he said. It looks like a memory wall.
That's what I thought of too. It's like, oh my god, yeah, no, it's just like everyone is nearly completely grayed or blacked out, and then just Genevieve is there.
Full of color.
Full color.
I said, is this foreshadowing? Is Genevieve winning? I don't know. But so we go to the second part, and this part is an endurance part. They have to stand on. We've seen this challenge a lot.
The bow and ball.
It's the bow and ball.
Pretty classic.
Yes, you stand on the beam, you hold the bow and the ball, and make sure that ball does not fall or you don't fall off the beam. And you stand on the beam, and then they'll take you to move to a smaller part of the beam and a smaller part of the beam in time increments. So this was decent. It didn't last too long. People were falling off. The balls was falling off. Some people, it was going pretty quickly, and it ended up getting down to Sue and Kyle, and they were there, and they got all the way down to the last beam before Sue was almost off on the second to last. She had like 10 seconds. She had 10 seconds to hold on, and but she made it. She made it and made it to the last beam. But in the end, it was Kyle. Oh, not me spelling Kyle with an R. I can't type.
Close enough.
But look, we know. But
Kyle, who was primarily concerned because
Yes.
he was the last player to just not have a vote due to journeys,
Yep.
is now completely safe and can't be a vote tonight.
And
Granted,
it's
it didn't
great.
really matter.
Here's the thing. I found myself very much rooting for Kyle. I was like, win, Kyle. I need you to win. I'm a fan of Kyle. I'm not gonna lie. I think Kyle is really good and I really want him to do well. And so I was rooting for Kyle. I was like the whole time, not even just on the beam, but like from when he was like, I don't have a vote, I need to go in this challenge. I was like, I really hope he wins this challenge. Once they said it was immunity for one person, which was interesting. It's just individual immunity, and everybody else is considered not safe, which is something different for Mergatory because usually 6 people are safe, and then like 6 people, 6 or 7 people are safe, and 6 people are vulnerable. And so, but this time everybody's vulnerable except Kyle since he won. So good on you, Kyle. I love that for him. So he gets to go to the tribal council with immunity, and his vote is being restored next week. So I love that for him.
Good on him. Yeah, no, we're back to basically a reset for
Right.
almost the entire game. And that reset kind of continues on because we find out in basically the next scene that the 3 people who are currently holding amulets, being Andy, Carolyn, and Teeny, come together and are like, look, it doesn't really make sense for all of us to just hold on to a public idol. Everyone already knows. There's no point in like hanging on to it because we're just going to be forced to go after each other and our targets are just going to get bigger. So why don't we just play it tonight? Get it out of the field. It doesn't really matter. So they have now just essentially decided, yeah, no, we're just going to burn it all to the ground. And I am not mad at it.
Absolutely not. I think it's the smartest thing that they could have done because who wants to go into merge with a target like the 3 of y'all have something that could turn into an idol if y'all work together. So we're going to constantly try to knock one of y'all out. Constantly. So absolutely, I would have been very much like, yeah, let's just blow this. Let's just blow this. Let's just get this out the way. It doesn't really matter to me. We got it.
And I mean, there are a couple of other just like small things here to mention.
Mm-hmm.
Sue, just as like a potential point, is like, I mean, I'd rather prefer Andy go tonight. I don't know about y'all. It doesn't really click with me. And I mean, it doesn't really have any weight behind it.
Right.
But it's fine. And Rome, in the meantime, attempts to get Soul to have a bunch of votes behind him.
Because now Kyle is no longer an option. Now that Kyle has won immunity, Kyle is no longer an option. So he has to pick here. And so he's like, who do I pivot to? Of course, Saul, because I don't like Saul.
Of course. And everyone's like, yeah, we'll go with that.
So,
and
Saul
Rome,
is who we're going to go with. And he's
Rome
thinking
Confessionals is so confident. He's like, wow, like there are 13 people here and I'm controlling so many of these votes. Like, he might as well be saying like the whole Amira, wow, this game is so easy.
This is
like,
easy.
Oh my god.
I never thought.
And everyone else is just going,
so the real plan is Rome, right?
Yeah.
He's like, everybody's like, the real plan is Rome.
Well, yeah, that's all I need to hear.
Yeah. So Rome is the only one going into this vote not thinking or knowing it's him. People, and so Roman's like, yep, it's Saul. Saul's got to go. I got these people eating out the palm of my hands, yada, yada, yada. Good on me. Great on me. I got it. Don't you worry, folks. Rome is here to stay.
Well,
Well,
no, but
no,
you know what? Close enough.
sure, go think that. Go think that. But
So during tribal council, because there isn't really much else to talk about
no,
at this point, it basically Rome just talks over everyone and is like, here's why this twist is bad. Here's all of the dynamics. Here's everything, to the point where Jeff literally says, like, just come up and take my seat at this point. Like, what am I here for? And don't blame him. Rome is basically taking his talking points and telling him to go fuck off. And he's telling him, hey, look, this twist is shit. And you know what? I don't necessarily agree that the twist is bad. I think it's just because of the environment of the game that unfortunately the amulets got leaked very quickly and it didn't make sense to keep them. I think if this cast didn't tell each other everything that was going on, it would have been fine. But
yeah, I look, I was not. The twist is kind of crap, Jack. Let's be honest. Because they didn't make the precautions of them not saying anything. Like, I felt like they should have told them when they got the amulets. The only way this amulet works is if they work together and it's a secret. Like, nobody can know about the amulet. And I think that would have prepared people to not say anything about the amulet when they got back, and it would have worked. But the fact that they didn't, and everybody just told everybody everything, it just didn't work. And I thought honestly this was the shining moment for Rome in this episode, because he had his moment to be Jeff Probst. Who doesn't? If you love Survivor the way he loves Survivor, who doesn't want to take Jeff Probst's spot from time to time and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I got, and this is why this twist doesn't work, and this is what's going to happen. And he literally just broke down what eventually ended up happening, because that's what they planned on happening. And so I thought that was a good moment for Rome. It's a good way to have that moment before they kick you out. Nice. That was very nice of you, Jeff, to do that. Since Jeff knew they were kicking him out. They knew he was gone. So
Rome was gone, so they just wanted to make him happy.
You know how you take the person who's a little delulu in the land, or who's going look crazy, look cuckoo. You want to make them feel comfortable. You want to make them feel special before they leave. And so Jeff gave Rome a moment to feel special before he left. And I'm not mad at that. I was like, good on that.
And good on. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to matter for much longer anyway.
No, we will not have the Rome show too much longer. So let's let Rome have the show. This is the Rome show, y'all, for right now. Give him his moment. And he took it. He took it and he ran with it and he did everything he needed to do. And then it was time to vote. And he was shocked. He was shocked because he was gone. He was gone by a vote of like, what was it? 7-3-1 or 2-1? Because
it was 9-2 to
9-2-1. Yeah, 9-2-1. Because he decided he knew everybody was voting for Saul, so he wasn't gonna do that. So he was gonna throw a hinky vote on Sam.
I did see as he was writing it, so it's like S. Okay, that's fine. A. Okay, you're spelling it like SAUL. Fine, that's fine. M. Huh? That doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't make any sense.
But
it would cause some paranoia.
There is actually some paranoia that does get started and is seemingly relevant for next episode, which Andy gets 2 votes from Soul and Sue.
Yep.
And Andy is looking around like, wait, was I the backup? What the no? Whoa, hold on. We're gonna pause for a minute. And I mean, seeming how the previews are going for the next episode, that's probably a really, I mean, Soul and Sue are not in the crossfire for that, seemingly. Wasn't expecting.
Because he's like, I don't expect them to tell me anything. But Sam and Sierra, we working together. If y'all heard I was the backup plan, why didn't you tell me I was the backup plan?
And it's because they probably didn't know, and or it had like zero weight.
Oh, they knew. They knew.
They knew, but I don't know.
They knew but they knew Rome was going. They were like, it's gonna be Rome. So it doesn't matter if you get a couple votes. Let 2 people vote for you, it's fine. But to Andy, he's like, oh, absolutely not, it's not fine. Because you knew, and you supposed to be my alliance, and you don't even tell me, give me a heads up or nothing. So yeah.
Andy, I would bet money that Andy ends up breaking off from Sam and Sierra now because he doesn't have full trust.
I can see that, and I can see him going to build bonds with other people and make it work. But that was that, y'all. That was an episode of Survivor that definitely happened. And
yeah, I mean, I do think, now that I've at least thought it through a little bit more, this felt like the exact inverse of the Banu episode that we got, where Banu had this whole episode where he's essentially going on a journey and is like knowing that his game is over and kind of accepting it over the course of the episode. This is almost the exact opposite, where everyone knows that Rome is going home from almost the start, and it is telegraphed how he is fucking up over and over and over and over and over again. And then he goes home, and then he's done. And he ends up going, well, that hurts. And I mean, the one thing I will say, because unfortunately, some people are stupid as hell, don't fucking send Rome hate, you idiots.
No.
He went on a TV show and played a villain, and some of y'all have been begging for that for years, and now you're getting mad at him because he was a villain. Now, granted, we did as well, but that stays here in this little bubble where we share our dumb opinions. Not dumb opinions, but like, you get the idea. Like,
yeah,
we are talking about Rome on a show. You respect Rome in the real world because he gave you fucking TV. And if anyone goes after Rome, fuck you. I do want to say, though, there is one beautiful tweet that Asia put out, which is just her celebrating.
Which she should be. Which, look here.
That Ponderosa must have been real fun.
Anybody who was in the game has the right to put out how they felt about people getting voted out and whatever. I love that for her. I will say this. I was never, and I'm not a biggest Rome fan as the character Rome on Survivor. I don't know this man personally. I don't know who he is outside of this game, but in this game, I made my decision how I felt about him, and I let my opinions be known. But that is as far as it's going to go. I will not be in that man's DMs calling him scum and calling him all kinds of names because I don't know him. I don't know him. And I don't think anybody should do that. If you do that, you're the scummy one. You're the loser because you couldn't even get on Survivor. All you doing is watching at home on TV, trying to talk about somebody who was on Survivor. You couldn't get there. So don't do that. That's kind of trashy. So I hope nobody is sending Rome hate. And if you are, stop being a loser. Stop being a loser. But on that note, we're going to get out of here because we've done all that we can. We said all that we can. We'll be back next week to talk all things Survivor 47. We'll talk what happens to what's the backlash, the paranoia, the strike up or whatever. But we'll be back, me, Jack, maybe Logan, and we'll see what happens. Subscribe to this channel, though. Subscribe to this channel and all 4 of our other channels. Hit the notification bell. Do all the things to say you support us. We appreciate you, and we will continue to give you the best content that we can give you with your support. Follow us on our audio podcast links. They'll also be in the description below, so you can check us out on the go, as well as our Patreon and so you can get early access to anything on 4 channels and exclusive content across all 4 channels and our socials, which I never put up at all because I am, whatever. There they are. Follow us on the Cup Pod at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow Jack and I if you want on our Twitters as well. And we're gonna get out of here. Also, get your cup merch. Get your cup merch. LanaGsCreations.etsy.com. And on that note, we're gonna say cheers, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.